Hello everyone, welcome back to the Launchpad. We are here at reInvent, bringing you the new stuff, all
Hi.
cool announcements, and bring your questions directly to the service teams. And we have a very exciting announcement now about AWS WAF. And could you introduce yourselves first to the Twitch audience?
Absolutely. So my name is Andrew Thomas. I'm the general manager for AWS WAF and Shield. Cool.
Okay.
And I'm Sundar Jayashekhar. I'm the product manager for AWS WAF and AWS Shield.
Nice.
And I know we have WAF for a while now. What are you guys announcing today?
So we're excited today to be announcing a new feature for AWS WAF called Managed Rules. And what these managed rules allow you to do is go to the AWS Marketplace and select a managed rule set from a trusted security seller. So these are folks like Imperva and Alert Logic, Trend Micro, Trustwave, and I'm leaving someone out, Fortinet. So these are trusted sellers you can go to on the marketplace, subscribe to a rule set, and go enable that in AWS WAF to protect your resources that are running on CloudFront or application load balancer.
Yeah, let's take just a step back, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that's not familiar with WAF and how it fits in the global infrastructure that we have and how is it important for applications.
Sure.
Could we just cover a bit about that?
Sure, Sundar, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So AWS WAF today can be launched on both CloudFront, which is our CDN service, as well as on the application load balancers. So between the ALBs, which is the application load balancers, and CloudFront, these are the two major endpoint services for any traffic coming from the internet. So AWS WAF can be deployed on both of these. So today we have as many as 107 edge locations for CDN, and within a matter of minutes you can have a WAF service deployed across all of those edge services within a matter of minutes. So you can have protections against, so if you're in the region, use ALBs to protect your web servers or EC2 instances running your web application or web server. And if you're using, if you have one CDN services and you're fronting them with CloudFront, you have WAF as well. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we have rules, and I know we released the white paper about protecting web apps from SQL injection and cross-site script forgery and the most popular attacks. What kind of additional protections will be available with managed rules?
Sure. So with the managed rules, the sellers on the marketplace kind of determine the types of protections that they would like to offer. And so some examples of these are things like protections against the OWASP top 10 types of vulnerabilities. If you're a customer who runs a CMS like WordPress or Joomla, there will be rule sets available for you for that. Also, protections for things like SQL injection, for bots and scrapers. There's quite a variety. In fact, we have the 5 different sellers who have all together right now at launch are announcing 11 different products that you can subscribe to.
That's right.
Cool.
I have a question actually. So we're talking about managed service, right? It's managed offering. It's not a trivial thing to have a WAF. Can we talk about the challenges of running this on the global infrastructure? What is it?
Sure, I can start, and maybe you can add on. Okay. So I think one of the interesting challenges is that is scaling all of this up to run at at Amazon scale for the large number of customers that we have. And many of these rule sets are quite sophisticated. They have hundreds of rules in them, and so making sure that we could support evaluations with sub-millisecond response times and get those through the firewall very quickly was I think an important challenge for us, because we want to make sure that the end user experience is always as efficient and transparent as it can be as far as the firewall is concerned. And I don't know if you want to add anything there, Sundar.
Yeah, when we took on this challenge of creating our own WAF, there were a few customer pain points, right? So there were things like, we didn't want to manage servers, we wanted to share SSL certs with another proxy server. So customers didn't want the extra overhead of doing all this to get a WAF solution. Another thing that we've learned over a period of time, and the reason why we launched our own WAF, was support for API. If people want to do DevOps, they wanted full API support so that everything can be done programmatically. So we have that in AWS WAF as well.
So does it mean we can integrate with CI/CDs and also can
Absolutely.
update the WAF with the
Yes.
API as it
Any
goes?
code
right?
deployment, so in the modern day WAF is the application developer who also takes care of security as well, because they're the ones who best understand the vulnerabilities in their applications. So WAF can be used as a virtual patching kind of a technology to kind of help with that. So I think they're in the best. So that's what we've enabled through 100% API support. And now we're really excited about the managed rule sets from our elite security partners, sellers, in that now customers get not only a managed platform where they don't have to manage servers and any infrastructure related stuff, but they also get managed roles. So one other thing Andy might have alluded to it before was not only do the security experts write the rules, but they keep them updated. So which is a
Exactly.
big challenge.
That's
So-
a big challenge, isn't it?
yeah, so customers don't have to have their own threat research teams or security engineering teams write these rules and keep them updated, because the bad guys are always innovating. So
Absolutely, and they keep improving all the time, right?
yeah, so we've got
Yeah.
to keep up with them. Yeah.
And from the developer perspective, is there any hint or thing that you would say that they must keep in mind while developing to make the application more friendly to WAF or helping them being more secure?
Yeah, I think the main thing that we would advise customers to do is to look at putting your applications behind either application load balancer or CloudFront if you're able to do that. And that's both because WAF provides layer 7 protections on those platforms, but also because those are very resilient as well for in the case of volumetric DDoS attacks, so things at layer 3 and 4. So that's why we've really focused our attention in terms of DDoS protection, but also web application firewall protection on those services on AWS.
Cool. I've got another question. At the edge, we have Lambda at the edge, right? We have Shield. Do those servers talk to each other? Can we build something out of it?
Yeah. So I think WAF is a very important component of AWS Shield. In fact, customers who subscribe to AWS Shield Advanced get WAF at no additional charge.
That's great.
And that's because we, again, view that the layer 7 protections are a very important part of the overall DDoS protection story.
Oh, that's cool.
So one additional point to that, yeah, I mean, there are use cases where if it's not met by AWS WAF, you can certainly use Lambda at the edge to write your functions to further inspect the like header modifiers,
exactly,
or you can do capture through Lambda at the edge. And so those use cases are covered by Lambda at the edge, the ones that are not covered by WAF. So,
Do you see customer updating the WAF directly from the edge as well, possible, or is it a stupid idea?
right now, there is no interaction between the WAF service, AWS WAF, and Lambda at the edge.
All right.
But we'll take that as a feedback.
That's cool.
We've heard a lot of
I'm
requests.
just thinking about it. out of
that's
my-
there.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there are a lot of customers who, I mean, one of the big appeals for WAF is the fact that it's very DevOps friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's a first-class AWS service with full APIs. So there are customers who do things like they build Lambda scripts that will parse, or after they parse logs, they can use these Lambda scripts
Exactly.
to update their rules. And also, I think it's something that's very appealing when you're trying to do this in real time, is that the replication times, the global replication times for AWS WAF are under a minute. So you can make a rule update, it's almost immediately in effect globally. So that's I
You
think a
mean
very important thing.
across the entire CDN?
Right, across all of our edge locations worldwide,
That's-
or if you're running on an ALB in a region, across all of the availability zones.
That's a challenge in itself, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So if I can add one other point, so just bringing back a little bit focus to the managed roles and how important and excited we are. So there are three main use cases with AWS WAF, right? We have layer 7 DDoS,
Yeah.
we have application vulnerabilities, and I'm forgetting the third one. So we have DDoS, application vulnerabilities, and botnets, right?
Yeah.
So with this managed rule sets, we are giving a wide variety of protections for application vulnerabilities, which popularly known as OWASP Top 10, with a number of vendors, and also botnet protection. And for layer 7 DDoS, which is part of AWS WAF Shield, we have rate-based rule, but which is natively supported within WAF. So we're giving a very good coverage and choice of rule sets for customers on all those three fronts.
Thank you.
Cool. I guess that's easier to take a look at it. Can you show it a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd like to show you a quick demo. Not really a demo, maybe a
Can
just
we
a
switch
walkthrough.
to the demo on the screen?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
So what we're looking at right now is the AWS WAF console, and just in the interest of time, we've already configured what's called a WebACL, Web Access Control List, which is the entity that you create within WAF that you associate with either a CloudFront distribution or an ALB instance. So here, I've already purchased one of the rules. I just happened to pick Imperva in this case. So once you purchase it, so you go to Marketplace, you purchase the rule, which is a two-step process, and after you've completed the purchase, those rules automatically show up within your WAF environment for you to enable and start using. So here you have, we have kind of interjected this with a couple of custom rules, so that this really means customers can continue to use the custom rules along with some of the marketplace rules, in this case, Imperva. So it's really a three-step process. Go to Marketplace, search for the rules that you like. You have 11 different products from 5 different sellers. Purchase it. Those rules show up on your WAF console. This can be done through API as well. Just enable it, and you're good to go.
How does it look, a rule? Can we click on it to see how it looks?
Good question. So rule obfuscation, so the rules within a rule set or a rule group cannot be seen. This is to protect the intellectual property of the sellers. Okay. So you cannot see it.
Cool.
Yeah. But importantly, I think I would add to that if you are a customer of one of these rule sets and you ever have an issue with what you feel is a false positive, you are able to see information that will identify which particular rule is causing the problem. So if you escalate that, there's something that you can work from.
More importantly, one other thing, sorry. So this solution is really for folks who don't want to care to see what's inside a rule set. Yeah. It's for people who say, give me a rule set that works, that has high fidelity, that has a generic protection coverage, and I don't want to manage it. I want somebody else to manage it. So I don't think there'll ever be a need for them to look inside the rule to see what's going on.
Can we have an idea of the pricing a little bit?
Yeah. Go ahead, Sam.
Oh, sure. So the way that the pricing works for managed rules is that you would just pay your normal AWS WAF fee, so there are no additional charges from AWS WAF for using these rule sets. The sellers on the marketplace will charge their own price for these rules, and that pricing comes in 2 components. The first is a monthly fee, sort of a subscription fee for access to that rule set, and then the second is a fee that's based on the number of requests. And so there will be a price that you'll see in the marketplace that says this rule set costs this much per million requests. And those request fees are charged by the hour. So if you enable that rule set for only a few hours during the month, it's pay as you go. You only pay for those few hours. And we think that's a very important thing for customers and a nice differentiator when you're looking at protecting your applications, but also keeping your costs manageable.
Correct.
And these prices are in addition to the AWS WAF charges, and we've been deliberate to keep the pricing dimensions the same as AWS WAF, which is the 2 pricing dimensions that Andy just talked about.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at a couple examples right now for managed rules. It's $30 per month and 60 cents per million requests. So this is available and easily accessible for lots and lots of use cases and applications.
Yeah, and in terms of, while we're on the pricing topic, it's pay as you go. You only pay for what you use. You can subscribe, unsubscribe anytime. There is no expensive pro-serve engagements required to tune your rules or address false positives, because we focused on very generic rules with high fidelity. So that's another benefit of...
And I think it is important to emphasize, these are living rule sets, so the security sellers on the marketplace will be updating these rule sets as new threats emerge. So as long as you've got that rule set enabled, you should have comprehensive and constantly updated protection for that particular domain.
So there's a question on Chime from Dret7777. Luckily there's no more 7 than that. How about community-based rules? Obviously, he wants to create free rules for people. Is it something you're thinking about, or what do you think?
Yeah, you want to take that one, Sundar?
It's a good question. So we'll take that as a request. It's an interesting topic. Just like if you go to armies today, they have marketplace armies and community armies. So along the same fronts, we might think about it.
Yeah, the community marketplace and things like
that. Yeah, but I guess that with the security products, there's a deeper trust relationship aspect to it. So yeah.
Yes, I think that's one of the reasons that we look to partner with the sellers that we did in this launch. I mean, if you look at that list of names, it's very respected vendors who have been in this space for a period of years and that have a trusted relationship with their customers. So that's why we're excited to have them on board.
So an advice for Dret is get great at security, get your name out there, and then we'll get your rules.
Yeah.
It's good advice.
Yeah.
So, awesome.
Great.
Anything you guys would like to tell us more about the product? Can we?
Yeah. I think, again, a couple of points that I would just want to emphasize is that we think the real advantage with this release is that for some time we've had WAF as a managed service. So you can have firewall protection for your application. You don't have to manage the infrastructure. All you have to do is turn it on, configure some rules, and you're protected. And in the past, while we did have some pre-configured protections that you could enable via things like CloudFormation templates, what this gives you now is the ability to have managed rules on the managed service. So everything is kind of taken care of for you when you're looking for these basic protections. And so I think that's the really important thing that I would want customers to take away. And we're very interested as customers start adopting this in hearing the feedback. You know, hey, what types of pre-configured rule sets are you not seeing that you would like? And we can pass that information back to the vendors, and you will see kind of constant development of new rule sets and capabilities through the marketplace.
And I'm sure different application will have different type of rules and different requirements, so that's going to be interesting to see how it develops as well.
Yes, exactly.
Between games, web apps.
Yeah, a good example right now is that there are rule sets specifically aimed at customers who are using particular CMSs.
Right.
So if you're a WordPress user or a Joomla user, you can go and download, or it's not download, you can subscribe to, let's say, the WordPress rule set, and that would keep you safe from, say, the last 6 months of recently announced vulnerabilities. So it basically gives you time before you have to patch or upgrade your WordPress instance in that example.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's awesome, to be honest. It's great.
Yeah.
It's one of those killer features, you know, that people don't talk about enough, but that might just change the game as well eventually.
Yeah.
And security especially.
Any considerations for people wanting to get started with this? Is just
Yeah, I think as Sundar was showing, it's super easy to get started. You know, literally, all you need to do is go into the AWS Marketplace, search for Managed Rules for WAF. You'll find all the vendors listed there with links that you can click through on, and you can subscribe to those rule sets. And I think it's important to know that when you subscribe to the rule set, the only thing you're really doing is committing to whatever that monthly fee is. And those monthly fees are typically low. They're in the order of tens of dollars, right? So the only place where you really encounter significant costs from using this is if you enable those rules on higher traffic endpoints. So I mean, it's super easy to get started. That's part of, we were really looking at saying we want the entire user experience to be very easy, both for setting up WAF itself, but also enabling these managed rules.
I do have a last question though, just coming to my mind. If I'm a customer and I have lots of different applications and I do use the same CDN, do you recommend having this WAF across on that CDN, or do you recommend people using different CDN? What's the best practice that you think actually might be best for our customers?
You want to?
So is the question around the choice of CDNs? Or
No. If you have different CloudFront distributions, for example.
Oh, yeah.
So should you, do you deploy to both, or do you go application specific?
So one of the key benefits of AWS WAF is centralized manageability. So you can set up a WebACL with a set of partner rules, seller rules, as well as your custom rules, and you can apply it within a few clicks across, if you have 100 distributions, across all of those 100 distributions. Okay. If you choose to have a different set of WebACLs with a different set of rules, you might have maybe a flavor of 2 or 3 different types of WebACLs with different flavor of rules in it. Okay. But it is a single centralized management where you can apply resources you want to protect against.
Yes. Awesome, thanks.
cool. I think there are a couple things to highlight for the audience. This is available on the global infrastructure of AWS, so it's a bit different. Check out the global infrastructure page about more on WAF and CloudFront in general, and Shield. We have a lot of security offerings. And on AWS, Amazon.com/MP is the AWS marketplace where you can find managed rules and subscribe to them and get your applications under that and be safer on the web. And of course, keep in touch and join the Twitch stream for the next announcements. Thank you very much, guys.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you
really
for joining
appreciate
us. Thank you,
the
everyone
opportunity
online.
to be here today and to speak with our customers.
Great.
Thanks. All right.